What's up, y'all? So it's been a hot minute since the last time I gave you guys an update. It's probably been a week or so. And we're just still rocking and rolling, doing the social distancing thing, trying not to go out unless it's an essential. And it's kind of ironic because today I had to go out, had to get my mask. And plus, I had some things for the farm I had to get because we are kind of essential. And there are things that you need to not only keep your farm going, but live animals alive. So one thing is many of you know that I raise fish, and with that, I have very hard water where I live. So I have a water softening system, and I was, of course, out of salt. So you have to go get salt. Not a big deal. I thought it was going to be relatively easy. Rolled up to our Walmart, mask on, protection on, ready to go. So weird saying protection on. I mean, obviously I wear it because I'm a first responder, but I mean, you guys know. Anyway, so I roll up, park in front of the garden center. Like I already had this pre-planned. Like I knew I was gonna park right outside the garden center. My salt is always right on inside the door. Right there is usually the pallet. So I knew I could get in quick, get to the register and get out. Wrong. They had the garden center closed down, and you had to go through this main entrance, and they had all these little things. It felt like TSA. I applaud them. They're trying to do their best, keeping their store open. I get it. But at that point, I was pretty ticked because like now I have to go through an entire store that I don't need to be going through to go get this salt and then haul it back through the store to get out, And so I go do it, and it's kind of eerie because Walmart was very, very desolate. Here it is, 1:00 in the afternoon, and there might have been 20 or 30 shoppers in the entire store, which we have a super Walmart. The pharmacy was closed down, the tire center was closed down, and we go and, you go in there and you see like all these people, and it's so weird because so many of the consumers, the customers, are all walking around with masks and gloves and some very entertaining, creative ideas of, proper PPE. And of course, I'm wearing mine. So what I found ironic was people were deathly scared to get around other people. Rightfully so. But that kind of hurts. When you got a heart for humanity, that kind of hurts. That this has put so much fear in people's minds that they're afraid to even be around another person. Like, and I'm not just talking like the 6-foot rule. I'm talking they don't want to come near you at all. Now, being raised, and I like to say it's because I was raised in the South. No, I was raised correctly. And what kills me is when I see someone drop something, especially if they're elderly, especially if they are a female. It bothers me that the first instinct is for me to go run and help them. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, can't do that. And it's not only on my end. It's not really on my end at all. Because if I'm wearing my protection, then I'm going to help someone if they need help. But on their end, they're like scared to even have it. Like, don't touch my stuff. I appreciate the help, but don't touch my stuff. And that drives me a little crazy because I was raised always be there to help someone. And it was just a crazy little observation. But fast forwarding back to the part where I'm in there having to lug around 60 pounds. No, sorry, not 60 pounds. 6 40-pound bags of salt in my cart. And I'm like heading there and I'm like, you know what? There's barely anybody in the store. And there are some groceries that I need. So I'm like, I'm going to see if I can get them. Now, many of y'all know that like I'm on a really crazy, weird, restricted diet. And if you follow my Instagram, you could tell, like, I get pretty creative. Like, I get to eat some really awesome stuff. But I have to be super creative with the ingredients to make sure that I'm going to be able to eat it. And it's not going to kill me. So, like, a lot of that stuff is fat-free. And on a good day, without the visit of the corona, it's relatively hard sometimes to find fat-free products in our Walmart. And what I've noticed is a lot of the stores in general, they have different types of products. So I may not be able to get one type of product like shredded cheese at my Walmart, but I go the next county over and there's plenty of shredded cheese there. Or I might not be able to get singles, but yet I can find singles at another Walmart. So like I have all these mapped up in my head. And luckily before COVID, I used to be on the road quite a bit because I work in marketing and I'm also a farmer that delivers. So I could have all these little strategic spots and be able to stop there and be like, hey, I need some cheese, and go in there and get my cheese. So now, of course, that's kind of hindered it because you want to restrict as much contact and risk and the whole 9 yards as you possibly can. So I'm definitely not making these like stops here and there because I know they carry something that I need. So anyway, going back, I was like, I might as well see if they've got it. Luckily, they had some shredded cheese. So, of course, they only had 3 bags left, and homeboy's taking 3 bags. On a regular day, without COVID-19, I'm taking 3 to 6 bags anyway, because it's the only type of cheese that I can eat, and it's hard to track down. So, I buy it, and I put it in my refrigerator, and if I need to, I freeze it. But I'm going to get it while I can. So, anyway, unfortunately, it was the only 3 bags there. And I took them. And of course, like the little lady doing the shopping for Walmart, she was like bouncing around. She was so polite too. She really was. But she kind of gave me the stank eye when she saw me take the last 3 bags of cheese. I'm like, hey, I'm the one sacrificing getting up in here to get my cheese. I'm getting my cheese, and I'm getting enough to last me at least 1 week. Yes, 3 bags of fat-free cheese may last me 1 week because I cook a lot. And anyway, so I took the opportunity. I just went ahead and I got my groceries, whatever, got in my truck, and I came back to the house. At the end of the day, now I don't have to worry about going near a grocery store unless I absolutely have to. And that's the trick with this is you need to limit the amount of time that you're out, the amount of exposure out there. We throw around this word of being essential and essential needs or essential services, but is it really? And you got to stop and ask yourself that. Is it really essential? Was I already out today? Absolutely. And I plan to be out this day because I know once I come home, I'm locking my gate and I'm staying here. So, and that's what people need to get in the mode of doing is prioritizing what you need and make that one trip. God forbid you have to go through to a couple stores to get what you need, but make that one trip. And there's no need to hoard. I saw that today. Like, there's really no need to hoard. Now, granted, there was not a square of toilet paper to be found. There was not any, water to be found. I don't know what y'all are doing with this. I just told you, I was there for salt to put in my water. Water comes up out of the ground, and we drink water. So why are we buying bottled water? It's not a hurricane, people. The infrastructure is still here. We've got power, so as long as we have power, we'll have water. But anyway, now whether or not you can drink it because it's hard and full of sulfur, that's another thing. But that's why you have a softening system. So anyway, going back to my adventure today, my true highlight was my nifty mask. And, I'm used to wear masks because of my job, working in healthcare. Not that I wear them all the time, but, anytime there's a chance of working with a communicable disease type patient, you wear a mask. So it's nothing new to anybody in our service, and then of course, being a firefighter, we wear masks anyway. Now they're like the astronaut looking masks that, suction to your face and everything. Won't suction with a beard like this, but since I'm not going any fires anytime soon, I got my beard going. But in all reality, though, that is a good point to bring up, beards. I know a lot of y'all like your Duck Dynasty beards, and that's great. But if you don't practice proper hygiene, you can get some funk up in there. And that, although we joke and we say it's a good filter, all that crap is getting up there into your beard. And you got to remember that. So if you're gonna keep your beard through all this, you might want to make sure you're practicing good hygiene and washing it and cleaning it and all that other good stuff. And like I keep mine relatively short, and in fact tomorrow I'm probably shaving it off and letting it kind of grow back in. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, you got to take that in consideration as well. Like, if they're saying this virus can stick to clothes or bacteria can stick to clothes, you definitely stick to your hair too. So think about that. But anyway, so one of my best friends, her aunt made my mask, and her name is Donna Tomlinson. Shout out to Aunt Donna. And yeah, so she is making these masks and making sure people that need them have the opportunity to buy them. I mean, they were like $5 a piece, which is great. I have 2 of them, so I can alternate and everything like that. And y'all would be proud of me because I did not go extra. Like, I wasn't like, I need hot pink, or now I ain't gonna lie. I was like, my first question was like, hey, Aunt Donna, can I get camo? But but like, I was good with my hunter green because it looks good with my farm stuff, and it looks good with my work uniform for the company that I market for. So if I have to go out for any situation or whatever else, like, it kind of matches my uniform. And I think that way because I'm a marketing guy. So that's a little bit about what I've got going on. I don't know if many of you guys follow what I do with the farm. We raise a lot of fish and we sell fish. We do tropicals. We do some edible fish like tilapia, catfish, and etc. And, prior to this really kicking into high gear with COVID-19, a lot of us that were in that sector of aquaculture saw a huge rush for people to buy for their aquaponic systems and their farm ponds and everything else. And it ran our inventory really low. So, we're working on trying to make sure that we're pumping out as much fry and fingerlings as we possibly can. We're trying to figure out how we're going to get them to people because, like I said, we're having to adapt our culture and the way we do business because you just don't want to go strolling, into someone's house and be like, hey, here's your fish. You got to be super careful about that, just like you would if you were going to a store or, if it's just, we're having to adapt a little bit, plus keep up with the demand. And there's several other factors, I'm a small operation. I used to be extremely large, requiring more than just me to operate it, but I'm smaller now, and I'm kind of glad I am because I know a lot of the bigger guys, they're dealing with the manpower issues. They've got employees that don't want to come to work because even though you're working outside and the only time you're really next to people is usually in a packing area, they are uncomfortable coming to work, or their spouses have been exposed, so they don't want to come to work and pass something on if they've got it. They've got family members that do have COVID-19, or they've got employees. And so you've got all that going in, and that mix of that combination of issues is affecting manpower in every industry right now. And I'm trying so hard not to touch my face, and I almost did. So that's affecting us as well. And with me having a compromised immune system, I have to be extremely careful. So I've had to scale back. I don't care if I am deemed an essential service because I am a farmer, but I'm not concerned about selling aquarium fish as much as I am moving fish that are edible for people to grow out in their backyard systems. Because for me, if we're going through this and we're seeing this health crisis go on for months as they're predicting, I want to make sure people are going to be able to harvest their own food, grow their own food, and harvest their own food. I've always been an advocate for agriculture, and, there is a saying, if you eat, you're involved in agriculture. And that is ringing so true right now. So, even though I originally, a couple weeks ago, decided, I'm not moving any fish. I'm not selling any fish. I am completely shut down. I am revisiting the idea of how I'm going to do this because I have to be creative. I have to adapt just like every other industry is adapting as well. And I've got to be sure that people are going to be able to have access to food and growing their own food. So, one of the ideas that I've thrown around is just making sure my people locally are taken care of. One of the things is our phone, my farm phone, along with everybody else's, is ringing off the hook with people willing to drive 200 miles for fish. And that's unfortunate because these people are coming from places like Miami-Dade where they shouldn't be leaving. They're wanting to come from Jacksonville or Orlando or Tampa to come get fish where they should not be leaving and where there's high numbers of cases. And I have to be responsible for my community, and I have to be responsible for the healthcare workers in this community too, because our system isn't like Orlando. Our system is not like Miami. We do not have large quantities of ICU beds. We don't have large quantities of resources. We don't have large quantities of first responders. So, I have to do my part in making sure, not to mention, I can't go selling thousands of fish outside of my county when there's people in my own county that need it for their systems. So I'm slowly learning how to adapt and take care of some folks on those manners. If you're calling about koi, I'm not selling koi until this is over with. That's a given. Like, I get it. You want to have like pretty fish in your pond, but it's not worth me catching this virus. It's not worth it being spread around my community. So, I'll gladly put you on a list. We'll set up an appointment as soon as they remove the shelter in place regulations, and then we'll talk koi. We'll talk other aquarium fish as well. But, if it's the food fish, which we're out of catfish for a while, but tilapia, we'll talk. Like, I'll work with people. But those are some of those boss moves that you have to make as a business owner and as a responsible steward of your farm, responsible member of your community, and those are some of the ideas that I had. And I know I've kind of rambled, but this is giving you an idea of how other people are handling this COVID-19. They teach us in fire school and EMS school that you have to adapt and overcome. You improvise. And this is teaching the world how to improvise. So anyway, I know it's kind of going long. I see it's at 17 minutes. So I just wanted to kind of give you some of those thoughts. If you're not following me on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell so you get notified when I upload these. Find me on Instagram, Party Country. Follow me there. You'll see a lot of the cool stuff that I do on my farm. Some of my cool posts about food. We have little segments on Sunday called Cooking with Country. And, and you'll see stuff, farm-wise, work-wise, all of that. So anyway, I hope you kind of took some information away from this. At least, if anything, you kind of know how I'm handling this situation. For the most part, I'm staying in one place, locked down, and trying to get through this, just like many, many, many people, not just in our country, but around the world is. So we will get through this. Have faith in whatever you believe in. Have faith. We are going to get through this. Keep a positive mindset, and just go out there and be kind. So until the next video, take care of yourself, stay well, wash your hands. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.